everybody watching on YouTube, and welcome to Race 28/Chase Race number 2 of Season 10 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Marvel Studios 400 at Kentucky Speedway. 41 laps of racing here, and last time we were here, we had a bit of a controversial, bizarre race because of a certain glitch that took place during the race that ended up causing a lot of issues, but I did some testing. Doesn't look like we're going to run into those issues, at least I would hope, but I did do some testing and we don't have any more of those problems. So we're still going to get to see some great racing, but everybody should be able to keep going unless cautions come out and they wreck. But anyways, so before we look at the lineup, let's look at how the chase points look coming into the race today. Tim Walsh took the points lead over, and he leads by 7 points over Jesse Setti, 8 points over the pole sitter for tonight, Seth Cole, 9 points over Charles Sanford, 18 over Steven Guerrero, excuse me, 21 points over both Michael Norman and Matt Skoenberger, 24 over Matt McIntyre, 29 over Connor Morgan, 34 over Austin Mongold, 37 over Pichu London, 42 over Dylan Young, and 45 over Joshua Collard. So that is how the chase standings look coming into the race today. But let's look at the lineup. Starting in the last row are two chasers, Michael Norman and Connor Morgan. Top 10, Seth Cole, a chaser who's on the pole for tonight. Starting next to him is Chase Oliver. Row 2 is Sean Henley, James Qualls. Row 3 are two chasers, Steven Guerrero and Matt McIntyre. Row 4, Sean Galligan and chaser Charles Sanford. And then row 5, James Richardson and Chris Michaels. But with that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Marvel Studios 400 at Kentucky. And keep in mind, it's called the Marvel Studios 400 in honor of the new name change starting in Season 11. Sorry.
Start your engines!
And there you have it. Cars rolling out for their one pace lap. So in case people were curious to know about what were the issues when we came here last time, well, the big issue that I found was having to do with the grip modifier. Like when we came here last time, I had the grip up to 10. This time I lowered it to about 2.1. I did some testing on it, and no cars end up getting glitched in the pits to the point where they start crashing a lot or rumble a whole lot. I am so sorry. But hopefully we don't run into those problems. If we do, then I don't know. But I'm confident that we're going to get a great race in today here at Kentucky. Pace car in the pit road, which means it's time to boogity 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 go racing. Excuse me. Seth Cole led lap number 1, and a caution came out. It looked like for an incident involving Charles Sanford, Chris Michaels, wow. 3 chasers looked like were involved in this one. Charles Sanford, Austin Mongold, Matt McIntyre, but Chris Michaels and James McLeod were also involved. But Seth Cole leads the way, so let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Kentucky. Well, from the looks of it, it looks like right there, James McLeod's going to come up into Austin Mongold, and wow, that hit sent him going upside down, and he hit the wall on his roof. So that was quite scary for the 51. But let's look at how this started one more time. It looked like Mongold tried to go down, the 51 tried to go up, and then they end up collecting Matt McIntyre, Charles Sanford, and Chris Michaels, and that's how all that got started. And then right there, a little hit on Nathan Hudson, but Hudson manages to keep it straight and keep going. So, but man, that was a wild ride for that 51 car, and he ended up hitting the roof onto the wall. And I was trying to figure out as to why the field was separated so much right there, but let's go ahead and take you to the restart at Kentucky. Well, as a result of that first caution, 2 cars are out of the race, and they are Austin Mongold and James McLeod. Matt McIntyre's a lap down, but 40 cars are still on track. Seth Cole in the lead. Second is Steven Guerrero. Third is Sean Galligan. Fourth, Sean Henley. Fifth, James Richardson. Sixth, James Qualls. Seventh, Kyle Matthews. Eighth is Chase Oliver. Ninth, Anthony McCrory. 10th, DJ Curtis. 11th is John Arndt. 12th is Joshua Collard. 13th, PJ Williams. 14th, Tanner Sullivan. 15th, Matt Skoenberger. 16th, Carson Gumbs. 17th is Peachy London. 18th, Caleb Farrell. 19th, Jessica Sheldon. 20th, Trent Dunham. Rest of the field include Michael Norman, Devin Becker, Zach Flickinger, Chris Washer, Dylan Thoreau, Connor Morgan, Tim Walsh, Dylan Young, Jake Baskinger, Anthony Ritchie, David Rivera, Johnny Gardner, Jesse Setti, Dorian Facepuncher, Preston Blord, John Cittadino, Charles Sanford, Chris Michaels, and Nathan Hudson with Matt McIntyre 1 lap down. So we're getting ready to get back to go racing here with 36 laps to go here at Kentucky. And we're still just in the early going of this race, but we'll see how we're going to get things going now. But better keep an eye on that 24 of Matt McIntyre, since he's going to be dangerously slow as a result of that wreck and the damage he sustained. Right now he's holding up the high lane with Matt Skoenberger and Jessica Sheldon among others. Now he's trying to move all the way up high to try to give room to everybody. And whoa, some contact right there with Johnny Gardner and Dylan Young. But Seth Cole still holds on to the lead. Kyle Matthews on the run. He's up to second right now, as he's got his good friend and future teammate James Qualls right behind him, now going down low. And I say future teammate because next season James Qualls will be moving from the soon-to-be defunct Sevens Racing team to join up with Retro Racing Enterprises. As far as the future of John Cittadino is concerned, that still remains to be seen. But he could end up being a part of Retro Racing Enterprises possibly, but who knows at this point. But Cittadino's still in next season. He might end up being a solo car team, or the 72 could end up going to another team. Who knows? But Seth Cole so far has led every lap here today. Trying to get as much points as possible in order to get a big advantage in the points going into next week at Thornton, which should be quite the adventure. But Seth has the lead, but now James Qualls might have something for the 52, but he couldn't quite make the move there yet. He might be able to try something here in turn 1. But now Joshua Collard, another chaser, trying to enter the picture. And Joshua Collard is a driver in the chase that is desperate to get a good finish, because he had a dead last run last week at excuse me, at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Ended up getting in the first wreck that took him out of the race. So Joshua Collard definitely looking for some redemption and hopes to get himself back into contention for the remaining races of the chase. That was our, right there was our first lead change of the day. Joshua Collard has the lead, but James Qualls with the run on the inside, so this will be another lead change. And Qualls led that lap. Couple of Roushketeers, Dylan Thoreau as well as Pichu London, and Pichu London is in the chase. And whoa, he took a big risky move, and he almost, if Caleb Farrell had a bigger run, that could have been very, very bad for Pichu London, but he somehow keeps it together, and now Pichu's got to run underneath his teammate Thoreau for the lead. And Pichu London's another one of those drivers looking to get a good finish to get back into the hunt. So far, we have been clean and green since we've gone back to green flag racing. And look at Carson Gum, who barely missed out on making the chase. He's trying to find his way up to the front. And look at Caleb Farrell, a go-or-go homer, riding the Stanley Tools Dodge, trying to go for the lead. But now they have caught Matt McIntyre, the slower car, and he's going to hold up the high lane with Pichu London and company, and that gives a huge lead to Caleb Farrell for now. I don't know, this is making me very, very nervous because of how dangerous this is. As they are really close in the 3-4 wide, even almost 5 wide portions of the field as a result of this issue. And Carson Gum is the biggest loser of that situation. He's lost a ton of ground as a result of getting held up. Same with Galligan and Preston Plord. Now they're going to finally go by the 24 after a long, long time stuck behind them. Back up at the front, the leader is, excuse me, is still Caleb Farrell, but now they're going to catch another slower machine in Chris Michaels. He's not as slow as Matt McIntyre, but still off the pace as a result. And he's already holding up drivers, but Farrell still leads. But maybe not for long, because Joshua Collard has got a run going on the 91. Joshua Collard right now the highest running chaser, and then you got 3 more chasers, actually quite a few chasers trying to get in the top 10 or are in the top 10. Steven Guerrero, Connor Morgan, Seth Cole, Pichu London, Jesse Setti, Tim Walsh. And then I see Dylan Young back there. A lot of chasers trying to make some strides to get up here. Trent Dunham now to the lead, but Connor Morgan's right there. And remember, Connor Morgan, if I recall, won this race back won at this track a few weeks ago in that bizarre, controversial race. I don't know, it was either him or Skoenberger. I think it was Connor, though, that ended up going the victory lane back here at Kentucky several weeks ago. So Connor trying to go for the Kentucky sweep here in Season 10. Seth Cole, the pole sitter, making a comeback. He's trying to get back up to the lead where he was about 10 laps ago. And he's got the run underneath Connor. Meanwhile, Pichu London and Jesse Setti have a run underneath Trent Dunham, and that would be for 3rd place right now. Now they've got a run on Connor Morgan for 2nd, as Seth Cole retakes the top spot on the racetrack. Pichu London, Jesse Setti. The chase has filled up the top 5. You got Cole, London, Setti, Morgan, Collard. And then I see a few more chasers up there. Walsh, Guerrero, Young. Excuse me. Back up at the front, Jesse Setti leads the way now. Connor Morgan now with the run to the inside, and that OK Fabe car. Sorry. Joshua Collard right there, Tim Walsh, Steven Guerrero, all trying to make some strides to get to the top spot. Hard to tell who led that lap. Connor led just barely, though, but now Collard takes the lead. Tim Walsh, the points leader, is up here trying to get to the lead. He's trying to go for win number 3 and also hoping to extend on that points lead that he built up after last week at Chicagoland. But now they're catching Matt McIntyre, the slower machine, again. Gonna stay with the 24 to see what's gonna happen, and he's gonna hold up that middle to high groove. Connor Morgan got held up just a tad, but Collard is the one getting the worst of it. Sorry again. Whoa, nearly contact right there with Carson Gum and Joshua Collard. That could have been very, very bad. Oh, and Matt McIntyre into the wall, but they save it. Carson had a run, and Matt tried to block him for no reason. Ended up putting him into the wall a little bit, but they keep it straight. We nearly had another caution right there. Battle on for the lead with Dylan Thoreau and Caleb Farrell as they are slowly catching Charles Sanford. I don't know if Charles Sanford is completely off the pace or not. I think he's a little bit off the pace, but he's not as slow as the 07 or the 24. But probably is going to be slow enough for these guys to really... Oh, wait a minute. Sanford now into pit road. Alright, let's keep an eye on this because this is going to be important. So we're going to see if those problems we had last time... Sorry, that we had last time here are gone. Alright, let's see. So far he's pretty stable. He's changing tires. But let's see if they're going to let him out of the pits after he's done. Okay, they are still working on that right side. Maybe they're doing damage repair. But now more cars are in pit road. Kyle Matthews, James Richardson, and it looks like Anthony Ritchie. And Sanford has now got out of pit road. And now here comes a large group of cars. Oh, but a couple cars in through the grass. Jessica Sheldon went through the grass, and now she's getting teleported. Seems like that happens at almost every track. Sometimes when you go through the grass like that, you just end up teleporting into your stall. So it looks like for the most part, all those glitches that are happening on pit road are pretty much gone. So this turned out to be a very good, very, very good race. Let's see what's going on up at the front. Oh, the caution is out. I'm not sure if it was for the Shelton incident or not, but there's a large number of cars that have yet to come to pit road. Dylan Thoreau, the leader, I don't think he's went in yet, so let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the second time today at Kentucky. So I guess the reason this caution came out was for the whole incident with Jessica Sheldon. Watch, she's still on track, and then she tries to make a last-second attempt to get into pit road, even though she's past the commitment cone. Same with Anthony McCrory. I don't know how McCrory got away with it, but Sheldon's car ended up getting glitched in the grass, and then it ends up sliding her down and ends up teleporting her onto pit road. So I'm not sure as to why those two, McCrory and Sheldon, tried to get in the pits when they were way past the commitment line. So I don't know if NNSCRA is going to let that stand or not for McCrory. And Sheldon, last I saw, was still in pit road as she was having some glitchinesses from all that mayhem. But let's go ahead and take you to the restart at Kentucky. Well, luckily no cars were out of the race after that, but as a result of that caution coming out at an odd time during pit stops, Dylan Thoreau gets to keep the lead, and on top of that, he's going to be behind a lot of cars on the lead lap. So the main guys we're going to have to keep an eye out for to win this race start with Dylan Thoreau. So Thoreau's in the lead. Second is Connor Morgan. Third, John Cittadino. Fourth, Trent Dunham. Fifth, Michael Norman. Sixth is Jesse Setti. Seventh, John Arndt. Eighth, Preston Plord. Ninth, David Rivera. 10th, Caleb Farrell. 11th, excuse me. 11th is Tanner Sullivan. 12th, DJ Curtis. 13th, Dylan Young. 14th, Carson Gum. 15th is Joshua Collard. Jessica Shelton is 2 laps down. The first car on the field a lap or more down, though that could end up changing as we get to racing here. And it's going to be 7 laps to go when we cross the line here. So all those guys up ahead of Dylan Thoreau are hoping for a quick caution to come out so they can cycle back around behind Collard and company. But Matt McIntyre, the slower machine, holding up Michael Norman, and now Cittadino takes the spot, as now there's a big separation gap between the 5 of Richie and the leader of Cittadino. In the meantime, Dylan Thoreau trying to maintain second, but now here comes John Arndt in the 21. Now Arndt is in the lead. David Rivera, another guy who's been on a long winless streak, trying to get back up there, but now they're contending with the lap traffic. So now this is where things is going to get really difficult for these leaders. Damn it, I'm sorry again. When your throat gets clogged up, what do you do? Anyways, Cittadino had the lead for that moment. Now John Arndt to the lead. David Rivera in second. And Arndt going way down low. Try to get an advantage to get by a couple more lap machines so he can keep cars at bay between himself and the 6 of Rivera. But Rivera's not having any of it, and he's trying to work his way into the picture. Connor Morgan in third, a little bit behind the top 2, but now he's starting to catch some ground, as now David Rivera takes the top spot, and he's trying to go for his first win this season. Arndt in second, but now here comes Connor Morgan with a run to the inside, 3 wide with Nathan Hudson, lap machine. So David Rivera's got a couple of lap cars between himself and now new second place driver Connor Morgan. But will Connor Morgan be able to make a run on the 6, or is this race pretty much in the bag? I don't know. And we're coming to 2 laps to go here at Kentucky, and Rivera has a lead with 3 cars, actually now 4 cars between himself and Connor Morgan. Connor Morgan trying to find a way around some of these cars in order to try to get some time off of the 6, but the 6 is just pulling away from the 81 as he's continuing to lap cars, and he's almost lapped most of the field. White flag is out for the 6 car with a near 7/10 of a second lead over the 81 of Connor Morgan. As Connor's maintaining second, right now he's the highest running chaser. David Rivera trying to end a long winless streak. Out of 4, everything looks pretty much at bay for him. Checkered flag, David Rivera wins the Marvel Studios 400 at Kentucky in what was a fantastic race. David Rivera, I believe that is either his 11th or 12th career win in the Walmart Cup Series. So he continues to extend his win list in hopes to try to surpass drivers like Chris Washer for most of all time. But let's look at the rest of the results. Connor Morgan, the highest running rookie and chaser, coming out with a great run in the 2nd position. Caleb Farrell, great run in the 3rd spot. Solid run, following up that win at Coca-Cola with a solid 4th place finish. Great run for Jesse Setti in 5th. Great run in 6th for Preston Plord. Solid 7th for John Arndt. Great run in 8th for Dylan Young. Joshua Collard gets a much-needed good run of 9th. And solid top 10 finish for John Cittadino. Rest of the top 20: Trent Dunham, Dylan Thoreau, Michael Norman, DJ Curtis, Carson Gum, Zach Flickinger, um, Steven Guerrero, Johnny Gardner, Kyle Matthews, James Qualls, and then the rest of the lead lap cars were Chase Oliver, James Richardson, Sean Henley, Sean Galligan, Chris Washer, Devin Becker. Everybody else that finished the race were a lap or more down: Pichu London, Anthony McCrory, PJ Williams, Seth Cole, Anthony Ritchie, Nathan Hudson, Jake Baskinger, Matt Skoenberger, Dorian Facepuncher, Jessica Sheldon, Charles Sanford, Chris Michaels, Matt McIntyre, and for some reason 11 laps down was the points leader, Tim Walsh, so that's a tough break for him. And then 2 cars that were out of the race were Austin Mongold and James McLeod. Well, that does it for our coverage here today here at Kentucky. Next week we head to Thornton for what's going to be a brutal race for the Survivor Series 300. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Thornton. This is Levi McIntyre signing off.